We are live, people. Welcome to our Avengers Infinity War live spoiler review. Yeah, Lou just dropped out, so it's just me here. But thank you for joining, everyone. I appreciate everyone who's joining us live for this. And look, Andrew's in. What's up, Andrew?
Nothing much. How's it going?
All right. It's funny, man. Lou just dropped out and you popped in. So hey. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We have Andrew, aka what's your current screen name on Instagram now? I mean, on Twitter.
Andrew Cam. I used to be Andrew Killmonger. Right now, I got it for Westworld, where I say Andrew. The hosts were right.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let us jump into the discussion. Lou is back. What's up, Lou? What happened?
Andrew came in and I got kicked out.
All right, let's jump in. Andrew, before we get into deep spoilers, guys, this is a spoiler review. We're going to go into every single detail. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the next movie because I know, because I am that good. But
you could see the future.
Yeah, of course. But before we get into it, Andrew, what did you think of this movie?
I don't know how to describe it. I walked out with a feeling of love, kind of, but at the same time, like shock, and I felt this weird sensation in my stomach. I think from Phil's standpoint, they knocked it out the park. They did exactly what they needed to do.
Okay, all right, good. How about you, Lou?
Like in our pre-discussion yesterday, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I walked out happy.
All right, good.
I am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in next year's movie. I'm a little sad that we have to wait. I wouldn't mind if it came out like in 3 months.
Or December, maybe?
Even I would take December, but that's just me being greedy.
When's the movie coming out next year? Do they have a date yet or no?
It's May. I think it's May 19th.
Okay. Well, for me, since I didn't do a review, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good. I wasn't shocked like most people were on the planet. I don't know why. Why everyone else was shocked because I wasn't. But I thought it was on point. I thought they did a good job. But I also thought there were some missteps as usual when it comes to power levels. I'll talk about that later. But let's get into some spoilers. Everybody loved the movie here and enjoyed it. If you guys are in the chat, you want to chime in with any comments, go ahead. And Brad, look, Warren joined in. What's up, man?
You guys need to start having interest music for me when I come in.
Oh yeah, thanks. You gotta let me know when you're coming in so I can at least play the music.
Well, no one hangouts, it probably won't let me in the second you start playing.
All right, so Warren, we just started basically talking about what we thought of the movie. No spoilers yet. We haven't gone to spoilers, but what did you think of Infinity War?
I think it was a good movie. I liked it. I think it's probably the best mashup movie of putting a bunch of heroes together that Marvel's done. I think it's better than the first two Avengers movies. And I thought it paced well for a movie that was a lot longer than I think a lot of people expected it to be. And but overall, I liked it.
Cool. All right, let's get into spoilers. Let's get into some of the spoiler territory. The movie starts off with a lot of action beginning. And Thanos basically puts the gauntlet down and takes out a bunch of people. Now, let's talk about action. Which of the action sequences did you guys like? Which one stood out to you the most that you said, okay, that actually just caught your attention? I'll kick it off with you, Warren, since you just came in last.
I can't pick one particular out. I like the action sequences. Pretty much all of the movie. There wasn't one that I was just like, wow, this is amazing or the other. I thought all of them did a very good job in keeping the flow of the fight going, keeping the story progressing, and just every action piece felt like it meant something in the scene that it was happening in. Like it was there for a purpose and it wasn't just senseless. So, or it wasn't, if that action scene wasn't there, you feel like there's probably something missing in the movie. So I think they did a good job of making sure everything was placed in there where it should be. There wasn't one I could think of that it was like better than the other, because there was also a lot of dialogue within a lot of the fights too. So it was interesting. And fights with Thanos happened relatively fast. So it's similar to Thor's fights, which is the way they should be.
Andrew, how about you?
Yeah, my favorite fight scene was in my ancestral homeland of Wakanda. I thought they did a really good job showing the stakes. What was it like? The size of the battle, and then everyone had like their own little moment in that. Even like the Okoye, like she had like a little side eye. Yeah. She had like a little side eye when they were going into battle. It was some cool.
It's showing how useless physically the Bruce Banner is. Like more useless in the comics.
How about you, Lou? Lou?
I mean, I liked all of it, honestly. I didn't find nothing more. I liked how they split. You know, some people complained that, well, why wasn't Tony with Cap? You know what? Tony's where he was, and it worked out great. Quit complaining. Just enjoy the movie for what it gave you.
They're not together. The Avengers have not assembled.
For me, there were two fight scenes. The Hulk versus Thanos at the very beginning. Even though that fight scene, didn't play out the way it should, but I did like that fight scene. And then when
it happened for a reason.
Yeah, I mean they did.
Mostly budget cuts.
Yeah, they took the Hulk out, and I was like, he should not be out because Thanos. That's the one person who can literally kick Thanos' ass, minus rings, of course. I mean gems.
Yeah.
So you're right, budget reasons, and also they just took him out of the movie. He was gone. And then the fight with Iron Man's team with Star-Lord and Doctor Strange against Thanos. That whole sequence, I thought was on point. And the fact that
damn Star-Lord.
Damn Star-Lord. But you know what? They gave Tony Stark. So I think what happened was like while they were shooting this movie, they looked at Black Panther. They were like, "Yo, Black Panther's gonna be a hit. We gotta make sure that Tony looks like an OG in this movie." Because basically Tony Stark was the first person to scratch him, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody else put a dent on Thanos, and Tony
was not at that point.
Until Thor came in with the brand new hammer, I was like, "Woo!"
Yeah, but you expected that to happen with the hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, finally they got Thor to his correct power levels. I was like, "Thank God!" Sheesh. But anyway, So okay, what stood out for you in the movie? What moments were your best moments that just stood out and said, "Well, I'm glad they did this," or I was surprised that this happened. Andrew, any thoughts?
Yeah, for me it was seeing how the level of Thanos, the children of Thanos, like how good they were at taking out like these superheroes that we've established. Like if these henchmen essentially are kicking the hell out of the Avengers. Like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, like it made me think, like, how bad is it going to be for them once Thanos like gets all the gems, all the Infinity Stones, and is ready to take them on?
Really,
like how are they even going to beat them?
I hated the Black Order, man. They were because Proxima Midnight should not be fighting with Okoye and Black Widow. I'm sorry, not on the same level. Not on the same level.
But like Okoye is like a human. Like that's different. Like Black Widow and
Black Widow
that actually brings up something that I did like about the film. But then they also kind of just didn't they half-assed it. When they explained where Ant-Man and Hawkeye were, and they were not involved in this fight, I said, okay, that makes sense. They're just human beings, whatever the hell, that makes sense. Although Ant-Man should be able to somewhat fight in this.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was fighting this suit, but they explained why they were gone. And then I'm sitting there like looking at this and said, so why is Black Widow still here?
Exactly.
Why is Black Widow still here?
Exactly.
I was just seeing a YouTube video. There was something about a comment on one of the clip from the Avengers comic book, and literally the cartoon. And one of the top comment was, how does Black Widow survive all these fights? And I just said it. How does she survive all these fights?
She's a super agent.
All right. She's a good. Black Widow's a good skilled fighter, one, and then she has awesome tech thanks to Tony.
It doesn't matter what tech or fighting she has. She cannot stand up to Proxima. Look, let's put it this way.
She didn't stand up to Proxima, whatever her name is.
Let me put it this way.
Captain America handed her that win in their first fight.
No, but she basically grabbed the weapon, cut her. And Captain America, even Cap himself, I get it. His power level shouldn't be, but whatever. We can skip Cap. but she should not be there. She had Okoye when they were both fighting her until Scarlet Witch came. I was like, okay, fine, somebody who has, who can handle it.
See, you need to start complaining about power levels. And I'm going to tell you why. Every universe has different levels of power levels, and this universe is different from all the other
This
ones.
universe tends to do the weird thing of they jump up in one scene and then they drop down in another. Like, just give me one full movie where it's you just tell me it's this and I'm fine. Like, it's all over.
Kind of the first Thor movie did.
Yeah, that was the one where
most of Thor's movies do.
The third one eventually at the end. Yeah.
They have to make up somebody that has to have more power than him. Then he gets beat up, and then he comes back. His movies follow the classic tropes of superhero movies more than any of the other ones. He thinks he's a badass. He gets beat by somebody else. He has to find some new power, have somebody be his conscious, and then he goes and he puts his hammer in this guy and then wins. Literally, that's Thor.
Well, Thor had to get a new hammer though. You got to get a brand new hammer by a dwarf.
Shout out to our boy Tyrion.
Exactly.
Well, now he's in 2 universes.
Yeah.
He's in the X-Men universe too.
Yeah, exactly. It was just remember, different sizes, 2 different size individuals. One's a giant dwarf.
But the X-Men universe is honestly, that's getting scrapped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Stormbreaker.
Well, technically, Thanos already scrapped it. Definitely already scrapped it.
Oh my god! All right, so
speaking of 2 universes, we had another Walking Dead person in this movie.
Who?
He played Red Skull.
Oh yes, that's right. I did like them bringing Red Skull into this.
Ross McWarn.
How the hell did he get there?
Yeah, because I was going to ask if someone can explain it to me.
Where the hell you been?
This is where
Tesseract sent him there. He said it.
That's what he said.
I had to go to the bathroom when this scene started, and I came back and I saw him on the screen, and I was so confused. Like, what the hell is going on?
How you go to the bathroom in a movie like that, man?
Listen, I was holding it from the previews. I was like, oh man,
that was your time to go.
No, man. I watched it on the one on like 34th Street, where it's like the bathroom was like on the 3 floors down. It was like too hard to get to. I was like, all right, let me just hold it. I can make it through. I didn't realize it was like a 2.5-hour movie.
It's like 3 hours being in there, man. That was
we got to the movie theater. We literally all went to the bathroom.
Yeah. If I didn't know the movie was that long, I would have made sure I went before I even got in the building, but it was too late.
No, Red Skull. So Red Skull basically stated the Tesseract when he basically opened up at the end of Captain America First Avenger. He fell through somewhere and that was it. It's not like he died, really. So basically that's where he ended up and he became the guardian of the Soul Stone.
Okay.
So that's what happened. Hulk got bitched by Thanos. Yeah, that's what Kirk Howard said. Yeah,
I read something today about the Hulk.
I didn't like that. I was like, come on.
And go back to Thor Ragnarok. Granted, it's not your favorite movie, E. But when Hulk was talking to Thor in the bedroom and how he said the Avengers aren't his friend, that's why he didn't come out.
No. Well, he didn't come out because he got choke punched.
Nah.
He didn't come out because he
feels Banner and the Avengers only use him for fights.
No. If that is the excuse
makes better sense that way.
If that's the excuse they use, that is the dumbest excuse possible. He's very serious. He got beat by somebody who handed him a beating. That's how.
But he never had his ass handed to him.
So I'll take it.
What they did is they did the story. They did the story when the Thing fought Hulk the first time, and the Thing got his ass handed to him, and they just essentially did that with Thanos and him. And although I was like, this isn't really what it should be.
Yeah, Thanos is afraid of the Hulk in comic books.
Well, here's the thing: he'll probably be in when they make the sequel of this, and he gets Hulk smashed. They're gonna blow the budget on that Hulk smash, by the way.
That's a big, but I don't know. They keep nerfing the Hulk all the time. I don't know.
That scene was done in the comics in one of the very, very early runs of Infinity War. Doctor Strange did some sorcery shit to speak to the Hulk with the rest of the group, and I believe that's how they got the Hulk to come out and play. So they pulled this from a comic line.
Yeah, Thanos is god level. So is the Hulk. the Hulk always gets stronger.
Yeah, but Kevin
John
Feige
Kirk.
stated that Brie Larson will be the strongest in the universe.
Yes,
when she makes her.
yes, she is. I mean, they pretty much are making Captain Marvel Superman coming in. That's just it. They've decided that's what she is. But I'm just saying that what the Hulk is. The Hulk is still your for now, true. Until they retcon another character in, until the Eternals come in, and then that's all retconned out. But yeah, I mean, to me, I just felt the Hulk should have at least handle that a little better. And then
I'm pretty sure this was CGI budget reasons that they limited
the budget
that.
for this movie is $350 million.
Yeah, it can't be that because they used the CGI for the Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah,
but I think that's cheaper. I have a feeling they probably wasted a budget on Thor Ragnarok, man, with how much Hulk is in that.
Thor Ragnarok budget was not as high as this. It wasn't even close. This movie is $350 million.
I understand. Listen, the mouse has got some limits. Even though he does a little thing, he's got some limits.
But if that's the case, this movie's already made back its budget and marketing.
No, it's not made it back yet.
Not the marketing.
At $650 million?
Not the marketing, because that's at least like a $300 million spend. They've been doing like advertising and global partnerships.
Even though it's made $250 million, again, theaters still take their cut. That's just how much it made box office receipts.
Yeah.
So,
but it's something they're gonna make back in like.
Oh, they make back in no time. I mean,
but it's just like initially, you don't want that huge like opening weekend number, and they got that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's $250 million, the highest opening for any movie ever. Which is spot on. So I like.
Well, I think that number will be adjusted by tomorrow.
For now. Some other thing.
I mean, until what? What movie would be? I guess what? I don't know.
Part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
Part 2 probably.
All right, so what was the consensus in your theater?
They got some Star Wars movie coming up.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to. What's the consensus in your movie theater when you finished? Was there sadness? Were people shocked? I know, Andrew, you stated that there was some shock, but
it was kind of funny for me because I saw it with like a very excited audience. Like people were clapping during big scenes, like when Thor comes in Wakanda. Like people were like openly standing up and yelling and screaming.
Yeah. Mine was too.
Yeah, people got really excited during these moments. But when in the end, when people realized everyone's fading, they're like, when Black Panther fades away, there was like an audible gasp. Everyone's like, "Wait a minute, you can't kill Black Panther," and everyone's like in shock. And people were just sitting there for like a good while. And you know how at the end of every Marvel movie, there's like the next scene previewing the chapter. People were just like couldn't believe it, and like even after that was done playing, a lot of people didn't get up thinking, "Wait, maybe there's one more scene, maybe there's something else," and we're just like, "No, this is it." Like it is like Thanos will return in Avengers 2, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, they really did that."
What is like well, no, they gave you the answer.
Yeah,
people just didn't know what the hell the answer was.
Yeah, like, a lot of people
the answer.
For like anyone that's like read the comics or remembers like a lot of these stories, the clues for them were kind of there already. But for a lot of people who are just doing MCU and they don't really have that backstory to know to like look for signs, those people were just like didn't know what to do. They were like in the hallways talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part. I was just kind of wondering like why should people be shocked? There is a Black Panther sequel.
Exactly, and that's what at first I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Like that's huge. Like they killed so many people. And then once Black Panther went on screen, I was like, all right, hold up now. Yeah, that movie just made $1.something billion.
There's no way,
no damn way anybody at Disney is gonna accept a scenario where that dude doesn't come back and do parts 2, 3, if not 4 and 5 too. Like they're gonna have to reverse whatever just happened.
Well, they had to do something for shock value. So they didn't kill characters. Essentially, characters removed from existence.
But the way it's presented, you're like, oh my god, these people are dead. But
that's what happens. They just disappear.
Yeah, they go to the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone or the Time Stone, something is going to happen.
To me, what I actually wanted, me, I want characters. Game of Thrones is taking over my life. So I like when Thanos stabbed Tony Stark, I was sitting down there with Sam. I was like, yes, kill him.
They killed plenty of other damn people in this thing.
None of those people were important to me for anyone dying at all. Loki dying was one where I was like, but even still, it's Loki. I'm not sure. Everybody was like, I had people in my theater was like, but he will come back, right? Because he's low key, he always comes back.
He's not coming
I know he's
back.
not coming back, but I'm just saying that's the only person that anyone, at least for me, I went, okay, Hamdel, yeah, whatever.
They killed Gamora.
Gamora's dead.
Yeah, she's coming back for sure. Because they got one more Guardians
she's
movie.
in the Soul Stone. That's where she was switched out for it. So I was like, Gamora, okay, but she was traded for the Soul Stone, so she's probably coming back. And then Vision, I was like, he's probably has software backup somewhere, you know. But for me, when he stabbed Tony, I was like, please kill one of the OG Avengers. Thor ain't dying because homie just got a brand new hammer. There's no way he's going anywhere at all.
I already told you who's gonna die. I've said this forever. The main person is gonna die, and it makes the most sense in the story. Captain America.
Yeah,
he's going to die.
Yeah, I mean,
Tony Stark can't die. He offers way too much cool looking tech, and they want that scene. He connects everything. They need one person that connects everything. And trust me, he's getting a good enough paycheck that I think he's lobbying to be around as long as he possibly can be around.
But I really wanted Tony to get that finish, and then for me also is the fact that what's his name? Dr. Strange told us what the end of the movie was. You know, he basically said there's only one way this is going to happen. And once he gave that stone, everybody should realize that you're getting to a point where whoever can wear the gauntlet can do the same thing. We snap back the other way, you know?
Yeah, because as soon as he gave up that stone to Thanos, I said, oh, this makes it pretty obvious because in the 14,000,005 scenarios he saw, only one of them they won. And I'm sure he envisioned Tony in one of them. So if he sees Thanos being killed, he says, well, then this must be the moment that I have to save Tony no matter what.
Yeah.
Because he might see
that. Are you calling it now that Tony's going to wear the gauntlet in part 2 or whatever they call it?
I don't know. I think Miss Marvel will wear it. I mean, in terms of this movie, who's powerful to wear the gauntlet? Miss Marvel?
Well, according to what I read earlier today, Tony was the first human to wield the gauntlet.
I mean, they could do that.
They might be setting it up for that.
He can figure out some tech way to figure out the.
I mean, his new nano suit, man, with all this coolness, can probably do stuff, man. So who knows?
Tell me that suit was not badass.
Yeah. Oh, that suit was on point, man. And that instant upgrade to Spider-Man was tight.
Yeah, and then try to send him home.
Yeah, I don't blame him because he's probably thinking Aunt May is going to kill him. So he's like, let me send him home. And Spider-Man's like, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he was the perfect Spider-Man in his jokes. He was what Spider-Man's supposed to be.
Hey guys, remember that movie about aliens?
He's supposed to be that. Movie?
And then remember when he saw Mantis? Please don't lay eggs in me.
That's what he's supposed to be, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I love when he goes, "Hi, I'm Peter," and he goes, "Doctor Strange." Oh, we're using fake names. In that case, I'm Spider-Man.
he had the saddest death though. He had the saddest.
Yeah, it was sad, but it was a sad death. I heard people in my theater go, "Oh," and we were sad.
You know why his was the saddest? Because Tony didn't want him there for that particular reason.
Oh yeah, of course.
So when he faded away in Tony's arms, that's like a thing in Tony's head, like, this kid died in my hands when I repeatedly asked him not to be here.
No, well, you know who should get a slap on the head?
It's Peter.
That is
Star-Lord. Star-Lord. Oh man, I hated that. I knew that shit was happening the second. I was like,
son of a bitch. I was like, you SOB. Like, come on, dude.
Tony should have just given him a soft blast with a blaster out of there.
Go away. just
a little, instead of him trying to pull him back. I was like, just give him a nice little psh, and
like he gave the Falcon in Civil War.
Exactly, yeah. And thank you. And then you and Spidey, because it was all hands on deck, just trying to get the gauntlet. Everybody. Yeah.
I like the way they also. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I like the way that they showed the gravity of how this is a universe thing, because if you noticed, they don't normally do that in the movies that often, but they named every place they were at, and they show it on the screen to give you an idea that they're everywhere. It's not just Earth where this is happening. Where sometimes movies can get lost in showing its scale, and the movie did a good job of showing the scale at which things are happening, which open it up to.
Isaiah says Iron Man is the best choice to wear the Nintendo Power Glove.
Oh, Izzy.
Yeah,
I mean, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be somehow Captain America dying to make sure Tony has that gauntlet in his hand. Like that's how it's going to work. Tony's probably going to try and make sure it's Captain America that holds it, and it just doesn't work that way. It just something happens and it doesn't work that way. And,
I mean, I don't think Captain America can wield that gun. You even saw what happened when Thanos snapped. His hand was like damaged.
Yeah,
there's a lot of power required to actually hold that gun.
I just loved how Captain stopped his hand, but took a right hook and was knocked down like a bitch.
No, he should have been dead.
But the sad thing is, he took a mean punch and so did Black Panther.
Yeah,
both of them. Yeah, I did like Okoye's expression when Black Panther disappeared. She was just like, "Not," in my mind, it's like, "Not again." It was last week. She had that look, and then Cap too. When Bucky went away, he's like, "Oh my God, I've been fighting to save you for 100 years." No.
It's ironic how the only ones left standing are the OG Avengers
and Rocket.
Well, come on, man, you can't get rid of Rocket, bro. He's everyone's favorite little rabbit.
Oh yeah, when Groot died, people were like, "No, not this second time."
There goes Groot again.
Yeah. But that was a funny line. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
Oh man.
The thing about Thor though is that Thor was feeling like he was OG when he threw that hammer and his hammer went right through. He's like, yeah. And he's like, you missed. You should just
you should have aimed for the head.
Yeah.
A quick thing on Thor. I was reading that the director of Ragnarok. Thor actually the actor Chris Hemsworth was actually telling them like, oh, we're doing some crazy shit on Thor. You need to talk to him, and they actually flew the director in to talk about the movie, and a lot of the lines that he gave them ended up directly in the script. So a lot of these funny scenes with Thor was directly because of him, like the conversations he had with the guys who made Infinity War.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. You could see his language did change, which is good because it's a nice continuation from Ragnarok, because you don't want him sounding like he's in Thor 2 or from like, the original Thor.
But see, here's the funny thing. Where's Valkyrie and where's the Rock dude?
Yeah. Valkyrie's not dead.
Yeah.
Did they escape the ship before Thanos came to attack?
She's floating in space.
So what, she could survive in space too? Because, I mean,
we
saw Thanos survive in space, but Ebony Maw didn't.
She's an Asgardian, so...
Yeah, Ebony Maw should have survived in space, or maybe he just froze. I don't know.
I think he just froze.
I don't know. Yeah, because he should survive.
He's a squid, so it's Squidward. Call him Squidward.
Yeah,
the best part was one of the better parts was who could out douchebag who between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark.
Yeah. Professional douchebags going at it.
Yeah, just who's the bigger douchebag out of here? They were going at it. Oh man.
Yeah, and I think it'd be interesting to see how the next movie plays out. I think they fly back to Earth, everybody regroups.
Tony and Nebula are going to have to take Peter's ship to get back.
Yeah. Well, who's left on Titan? Tony and
Nebula.
Just them two.
Just them two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and it's kind of funny because the other ones are supposed to be like basically the last of their kind, but they're not like, you don't say, oh, I'm going to take half of your species. It's just life in the world. Like, it's not half of humans and half of these other things. So that means it's like every living creature, half of you are gone.
Wow.
What I liked about this movie, which I think this is why people were upset at the ending or were just kind of shocked, is they don't know how to follow stories in movies, I think, as well as they should.
Well, he said he was going to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is that they weren't paying attention to the fact that the movie was about Thanos. And and his reasonings as to why he wanted to do this and where he was going towards. So it was there were scenes in there you were supposed to be sympathetic to what his cause was to lead up to him doing it, and then the reaction obviously afterwards. So I think a lot of people just see Thanos bad guy and didn't realize that. And I'm like, no, most of Marvel's heroes, superheroes, and villains tend to have two sides to them. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons. That's what makes a lot of the things that happen in the stories very good, because not everybody is totally squeaky clean in what happens.
Yeah, especially with I think after he sacrificed Gomorrah, I think audiences should realize, because I know some people in my theater were shocked, and I was like, why are you shocked that this is the person he loved? He gave her food. This giant purple dude who basically dismantled his second daughter.
Yeah. This
is the one he loves. He brought food over, to her, and she threw it away. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Even when she bitched at him, he was just like,
Well, that was the whole scene when he went and took over the homeland, and then explained why he did it, because he saw what happened to his own world. Like he's actually doing what Zod was trying to do in Superman, but actually successful, and with an actual sense as to why he's doing it, even though it doesn't make, it's madness, but at least he's not walking around with madness. It's an actual purpose as to why he's doing what he's doing, even though it's not quite as accurate in the comics. He's kind of trying to impress some chick, but
he's trying to impress death in the comics.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Is it madness though? Like, logically speaking, like, hear me out. Like, I know it's terrible.
Okay.
No. I said no. Everyone else will think it's madness.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
This is the Andrew's madness now. Before we
purely logical standpoint, he's got a point.
Up inside New York and then take him out. You ready?
From a purely logical standpoint, he's right that there are very finite resources and every planet is overpopulated. We see this on Earth itself. Like in 20, whatever year it might be, 2300, it's going to be a pretty rough year for humans on Earth. I'm not advocating for this, obviously. Just be clear. I don't want Homeland Security coming to my house. But like in his mind, the way
do you prescribe to the Thanos doctrine? Is that what you're preaching?
I am not preaching the Thanos doctrine at all. I enjoy my freedom. To the FBI agent that's watching,
sure, why not?
I'm just saying,
get rid of him.
Logically, like the way he presents it, I kind of understand where he's coming from. I don't agree with it.
Well, that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to have a very, very logical thing to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
if he just cut it in half.
But it's obviously a crazy idea versus, well, let's see what happens. Let's see if science solves something. Instead of that, I just got the solution. This is just going to work. And it didn't work in his homeland. It just ended up,
but he said they didn't listen to him in his homeland.
Yeah.
Because I think if they had listened to him, he wouldn't have left his homeland and come and destroyed everywhere else. Those damn people in Titan. Even though Titan is technically the Titan here in our galaxy, in the comic books, in our solar system, the moon of Saturn. Question on the Captain Marvel intro. We know that they're shooting the movie in that. When's that movie coming out? Do you know?
March.
So
2 months before Infinity War.
When's Ant-Man coming out? Oh, this year, right? Sorry.
Ant-Man is this year in July.
Yeah.
Which now, hopefully, they got a beginning scene in there talking about how this is directly after Civil War.
Okay, so yes,
it's going to be because it takes place before the events of this movie.
Well, this should explain why he's gone.
Touch onto this movie because I believe in the trailer they said he touches on what's her name, Evangeline Lilly. Goes to him. You should have came to me, and we could have helped you, and all this and that. And that's after him getting released from the jail. So I don't think Cap breaks him out. I think it's more her father and her work some kind of deal to get him out because he's under house arrest.
Yeah, in the trailers he's under house arrest. So we'll see how that pans out. But speaking of Captain Marvel, question. First of all, they've retconned their history again, right?
Of course, but no. Before we get there, who loved that throwback beeper, man? Who here had that beeper? I know I did.
No, I didn't. I did not have a beeper. I didn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I had all kinds of beepers.
Yeah, I had the beeper. I had the that kind of model, I think. Obviously,
I had that one. I had the flip one two-way.
I had the Motorola one. No, I never graduated to the two-way. Like, I couldn't convince my parents to get that for me. But, like, and the funny thing is, I had a beeper, and my dad one day was like wondering himself, why the hell do you need a beeper? Why am I paying for this? Give me that shit.
So my question is no question, but the statement in general is number one, they retcon the history because he didn't call her during the first Avengers movies when the Chitauri showed up, and when he was trying to assemble the Avengers, he didn't call her then. Granted, yeah, there were a bunch of people that he could use, but he didn't actually call her. Why?
Well,
he also made it seem that this is the first time they've ever faced alien invasion of any kind, which is false because we do know Captain Marvel and Kree.
it's not that they faced an alien. Look, I had this discussion on Friday with Whedon and Isaiah, and we came up with, yeah, Nick Fury was building the team, so maybe he felt the level wasn't extraordinary enough for him to page her. Granted, we're retconning this, so we got to think back. Like, okay, how do they think they're going to do this? So they didn't need her for Ultron because they figured Shield was disbanded and all this other crap.
Avengers
They'll figure it out. So they figured the Avengers could get this done.
For part 2, I get it because you already have a working team. But for part 1, there was no working team. You're still trying to build a team.
But you hope that they came together.
Well, I think it's because he had the weapon of the Hulk around, so there was just that. If all those fails, Hulk will smash everything possible, and they also had the out of blowing up New York. So remember that was in the plan of the leaders that are above Nick Fury. They were just going to they were just going to nuke the thing. So
yeah, but what if that didn't work? Then they still would have been screwed.
Then they probably call her at that point, but
yeah.
And it's probably a reason that's going to explain why that he hasn't in the past done that in her movie.
How do you think she's going to show up in this? Granted, her movie's going to be before this, but how do you think she's going to show up in the sequel? She's just going to like fly and be like, "Yo, what's good? Where's Nick Fury?"
Well, that's going to be the end credit scene of her movie.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the end credit scene is that she just gets a signal. She just
she gets a signal. Yeah.
She just receives,
and then, she leaves wherever she is. But the funny thing is, she gets that signal and she runs into Iron Man and all the rest of them that are still in space
on Titan.
Yeah, but that's it's weird. Well, I guess in location of where it is, because the planet where the Soul Stone is within the Kree Empire. They are the section of the galaxy that they control, which would put the Soul Stone closest to wherever she is, because we know. At least she's going to be dealing with the Kree at some level. It's around there. But also, why didn't she show up with Ronan the Accuser in Galaxy of the Galaxy?
Well, that's the thing. He's going to show up in her movie.
I think the timeline is different. Like they're going to have to massage the way they explain it.
Where's Adam Warlock? Is he going to show up now?
Well, he's not showing up
at all. Yeah.
But see, this is the thing that's annoying with this Marvel universe is this jacked up timeline. Yeah, they need to just fix it. It is because you've got Black Panther takes place 10 days after Civil War. So you're saying Ant-Man most likely does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have Captain Marvel, who's coming into play now. She's in the 90s, so she starts everything off.
Well, not really. I mean, Captain America started.
God only knows where the Guardians truly fit in this freaking timeline.
They don't matter. They're in Galaxy.
They're in Galaxy, but also, Star-Lord's dad, mom died in the 70s. Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. That's when he left Earth. So
yeah,
that's out.
Yeah, it's really more of an issue of when the movies are released. Like the timeline itself makes sense, but the way the time that they're presenting these things to us is out of order.
So now we have to go back when we're watching. So they retconned Spider-Man's timeline again because the timeline dimension, the Spider-Man movie was
8 years.
8 years, and then
the Russo brothers came back and said it's technically 5 years later.
Yeah, so
5 years later since what?
So I mean, it's
5 years later since which movie?
Because remember, Spider-Man.
That's the events of Avengers happened.
When the alien invasion happens.
The first alien invasion.
That's tied into
But see, here's the kicker: they've got Moon Knight supposedly in active development. Are they going to use the events of this movie to say he went crazy and now he becomes the Batman of this universe?
Moon Knight is he going to be a movie or a TV?
Movie.
Okay. Speaking of TV, Warren, yeah, you mentioned the TV universe. In Agents of Shield, they referenced what happened, and they just said there was another alien invasion in New York, and then you go, oh, I don't have time for that right now.
Man,
They did that?
Yes.
Well, in all logical sense.
I was like, no, but it doesn't matter. No, it's not even that though. Half of your team should die. Remember, half of the planet is going, so at least somebody should disappear from their team, just like vanish.
Come on, man. They killed a bunch of people in the episode, so be happy with that.
I'm just saying that it's just funny how they reference that. Like, to me, they should have just skipped it and just continue the show as they were going. But I was like, really? That's a reference, you guys?
Well, but technically, this show wasn't supposed to do anything with the movie this year.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
so if they did that slight little reference, then it slipped my mind. I guess I was too busy paying attention to Gravitronium.
I think they always want to have some sort of linkage to that. This is all still the same world, even though things are all happening at different times and different things are going on, which is what it should be. That's how that should be.
Oh, no, it's fine. But when it's a major event like that, especially one when somebody does this and half of the universe disappears.
But who says that all happens all at the same time? That could be something that could gradually happen over time.
It was happening roughly around the same time period. So even if it's in between,
but it's
somebody should just. I'm just saying somebody should just disappear from their own team and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You got to remember.
But that's the funny thing.
Shield's got team all around the world, so that team might be fine, and another team might have gotten wiped out.
But see, here's the
it's
thing.
Random. It doesn't matter. There's going to be one person out of a group of people. So if you look at the way they put it in the movie, Iron Man's team lost almost everyone except just two, right? And then Cap's team lost fewer people in the sense, if you look at the collective amount of people. So it's really random. So there's going to be a loss. It's just not the amount of a loss. That's why I said that you might as well just skip the reference and just like continue what you're doing.
Oh, the reference is fine.
But the same thing. It's kind of effed up because you've got the movie starts with the New York invasion, well, brief invasion.
Yeah.
And then it ends with the Wakanda invasion. But yet in S.H.I.E.L.D., they're being invaded by this other clan, massive ship, which looked really good for television.
So where did that ship come from in between that time? You know what? I think what it is, though, I think to me, this is how they solved it on S.H.I.E.L.D. quickly, is they did a time jump, which means they're in an alternate timeline after you do that. Because remember, they went to the future and they came back.
But then they shouldn't have to worry about referencing Thanos.
I don't know why they did. I'm just saying that
they could have been on an alternate Earth, for God's sake. I mean, really, you bring back a kid from the future, it ends up being Fitz and Simmons' grandkid.
Stop spoiling it for people in the comments.
They could be all right.
Don't worry, nobody watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore.
If they haven't watched it,
also forget. Remember, Doctor Strange said there's 1.4 million different universes he saw all the same damn time with all the same results. So one of them they're in there. Whatever. One of them they're in there.
I love it. It's in one of these universes. They're good. Did you see one with the Fantastic Four? Because you should have called them up.
They could come back. Well, the thing is, I think I don't think when they get the Infinity Stone back and they snap everything back that everyone comes back. I actually don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to get a certain amount of what's going to come back, but not everything's going to come back because time would have changed at that point. And I think they'll get people back. But I don't think it's going to be like instantly going back all the way to where we started.
No, I think it's just the people that will ask, whoever holds it will ask for everybody to be back. And, that's the thing. So maybe Cap uses it and then he dies from using it.
There's one thing that I still haven't made sense of, because in the trailer that came out, there was a scene where they're in Wakanda, they're running towards it.
Oh, it's cut out.
That's not there. And
Iron Hulk was running in there.
Hulk was running there as Hulk, and Iron Man is flying in. And
Iron Man. Rhodey was the one who flew in. Rhodey and Falcon. So it was like,
okay,
yeah, but that was all misdirect, bro. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't misdirect. They cut it out. They changed the part of the Hulk.
Because that was all part of the fake script.
No, they didn't record anything for the fake.
Did you watch what I sent you earlier?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, then I did. Fake script.
Then what about the part in the? So you're telling me the part in the trailer where what's his name?
All misdirect fakeness. They
Bruce
were
Banner
some
was
parts.
talking to somebody, and then the huge Iron Man hand was next to him.
That was cut. That's a deleted scene, most likely.
Okay,
And he was talking to Scarlett Johansson.
is that after the fight?
That's before the fight.
Oh, before. Okay. All right.
And then remember, there's a line in one of the trailers that goes, Thanos says that's going to put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
They cut that from the movie too.
Where's that supposed to be?
I believe it was in the fight with the Hulk, where he's talking to Thor and Loki
Oh, okay.
before he snaps Loki's neck.
Loki trying to stab him, man. I mean, come on.
Loki was a fool. Oh, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have killed him. But
They killed Idris Elba, man. Loki got to go too. Two people got to die.
I
wanted
know,
more
man.
people to die. This
It was kind of sad that they killed a bunch of all the B-list actors.
I don't care about those people.
Well, granted, you care about Idris Elba.
That's different, though.
Yeah. Okay. Now you care.
I'm just joking. I mean, as soon as I saw him on the floor, I was like, and as soon as he sent Hulk away, I was like, man, you gone, man. Time to go to be James Bond. Just die already.
Well, there's people asking, well, will he be brought back to life with when they used the time stone?
No, I mean they could. So basically, after Ragnarok happens in the comics, and also afterwards, the second storyline where Asgard is gone. Thor brings them back with his hammer because now he has the full Odin Force power, and he brings Asgard back and all the people in Asgard on Earth. So he actually brings Asgard on Earth. So they could do whatever fashion of the storylines they want to,
remember they were heading to Norway.
His power levels are up there now. He's got the Odin Force. He can summon the Bifrost. Bifrost doesn't exist as a physical place anymore, so dude can do whatever he wants now.
The dude, 1,500 years old.
Yeah,
like Drax was saying, he's a man. You're a dude.
Tano changing his voice. Let's go with you.
They'll tell you, you're one sandwich away from, a big neck.
I was so wrong. I was wrong. What's up with Thanos and Bubbles, man?
Yeah.
What else could you want Marvel to do?
They're
trying to keep it kid friendly with the Bubbles.
Does Thanos miss Bubbles back from his home planet?
It's got to be something related to Titan. Like at the end of the movie where he sits down in that peaceful scene, he's has this idyllic look on his face. I'm sure it's something related to his childhood.
I didn't see no Bubbles around though. I was hoping for Bubbles in the corner.
But see, here's what got me. Isn't the Collector is the Grandmaster's brother, and they're supposed to be powerful gods, but yet he was scared of Thanos.
Because Collector does not have any. All he's done with his powers is basically to elongate his life. He has no physical strength more than a regular human.
So basically he's useless.
Yeah, he likes to collect. He literally every other Eternal decided to build themselves up. He was like, no, I want to collect stuff. Literally.
And I'm sorry, but Stan Lee's cameo was classic. Haven't you kids seen an alien invasion before?
Because Stan Lee's the most powerful character in the Marvel universe, man. He is. Mm-hmm. So for him, this is just child's play. If somebody actually stopped and talked to him, he could have gone and just stopped Thanos, be like, chill, dude. But no. Maybe that's what happens in the next movie. Stan Lee comes and saves the day.
No, the next movie's going to start off with Thanos farming.
Really? He's playing Farmville?
No. There's a storyline in the comic after Thanos snapped his fingers. What he pulled on a farmland farming. Hung up the gauntlet and all that shit.
He's playing Farmville while farming. On a tractor.
If he has the technology phone to reach that far, because granted, it seems like S.H.I.E.L.D. built that super dupe beeper that could reach the cosmos.
Yeah, let's talk about that beeper, man. Come on. I mean, what kind of frequency is he? That's not 5G though. That shit's 10G.
Well, you got to think about it. It references the fact that was probably built in the 90s.
Yeah, that is 10G of the interstellar kind.
Listen, all I know is when I had a beeper, it didn't matter if I was in a basement, if I was in a cave. I get that signal went through. So I'm sure they got some technology that's going to reach space and time to get to Captain Marvel.
Yup, and then they told you how far you could go with your beeper. I had a beeper where it covered the whole state of Florida.
Oh wow!
So wherever you wanted to go, you could get a beeper with your 1-800 number if you wanted to pay a few extra dollars, and be reached anywhere. So cell phones need to get with that technology because beepers worked anywhere. Freezers, basements, they just worked.
Essentially sending a text message with numbers on it. So. and I mean, I don't know how difficult that is, and I'm pretty sure that could travel through space decently enough.
You have to send it at the speed of light. That's the thing. You can't just send a regular radio frequency. By the time it gets to her, everybody have just moved on with life. We just half the planet.
Depends on where she is.
That's the problem. We don't know where she is.
Is she just hanging out in Jupiter, just chilling for a little bit?
Well, we'll know at the end of this movie.
Oh, her movie, yeah.
Yeah, we'll know at the end of her movie.
Let's see. Any final thoughts before we wrap up on the movie? Anything that you want to point out? You liked, you didn't like, you want to see? Anything. And you guys in the comments do chime in as I read through.
They were having a nice, lovely conversation amongst themselves. Isaiah's pointing out a bunch of comic stuff.
Stan Lee's the Watcher. Stan Lee's not the Watcher. He's more than the Watcher. He is Stan Lee. He is the creator of
cameo appearances
of the Marvel Universe.
God of cameos.
Yeah, I have one question. This is supposed to lay the groundwork for them to do the next stage of the cinematic universe. Who's that going to be built on? Because obviously the tentpole Avengers aren't going to be around anymore. So what are the next stages?
Captain Marvel, Spider-Man,
and then the cosmic side of things.
And Wakanda. I mean,
I said Black Panther.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
That's it. Black Panther.
Yo, I don't care, but Wakanda needs to share their technology with New York. Because New York keeps getting effed up. They need that big ass shield though.
I love understanding that. You should see the look on Lou's face. Lou's like, no, I'm serious, bro. Like,
well, wait a minute. This is the second time it got effed up in the MCU, right?
This is like the 30th.
It was the first time.
No, this is the second time.
No, it got messed up in Avengers 2. It got messed up in Doctor Strange.
No, you sure it got messed up in Avengers 2?
No, Avengers 2, no. Here's where it got messed up first.
And it didn't get messed up.
The Incredible Hulk in Harlem. Harlem got banged up.
Yeah.
Then we go to New York in Avengers.
Yeah.
In Avengers 2, it was Sokovia.
Yeah.
Got wiped out. Now we go here. Doctor Strange, not too much because
really
Hong Kong
was what really got effed up, and then he reversed.
Yeah, Hong Kong, and he reverses it. But here, Spider-Man, New York gets messed up by Ebony Maw and that big ass giant
Spider-Man didn't
dude.
Spider-Man didn't.
I'm saying it's going to be messed up because he's going to be getting thrown into buildings all the time. He's going to be like
what buildings? He's in Forest Hills. What building?
Spider-Man is going to Europe in the next movie. So
he's in Queens.
He's eventually going to go to school. He's going to be at NYU or one of them. I forget.
And probably 3 movies later.
Yeah.
They're doing a completely high school Spider-Man.
Yeah, they did high school Spider-Man for at least 3 movies.
He's a freshman in the last movie.
Speaking of Wakanda tech, though, like Lou, I gotta say, I love the way you said that because this reminded me of what Bucky said when the
the ship came down and got disintegrated.
He's like, God, I love this place, man. I can see how Lou probably felt the same way right there.
Bro, you walk into Wakanda and it's like a marvel, bro. A technology marvel. You're like, oh, it's so brilliant. They've got nice little devices that are beads that do awesome shit. I mean, seriously, New York State getting effed up.
No, it's not New York. How about you tell Tony to share a little bit of that nanotech?
Tony gave them sustainable energy, and they just fucked around with it. Tony gave them something.
Because I will say, look, let's put it this way. Tony probably got wind from somebody that Black Panther has this nano suit, and he went and spent at least 3 weeks, no sleep, That's why Pepe was complaining. He's like, "Why you got that stuff on your check? You took it out." It's like, "No, this is just insurance." And then he does the cool move, taking his glasses off and all that. Tony's like, "There's no way this dude from Wakanda is gonna beat me. I'm gonna have my own nanotech because that saved his life. Because it was a regular suit that he fought Thanos with. He would have died a long time ago."
That suit was on point, bro. One, he blows a hole in a ship, then his suit closes the hole. He gets stabbed with his fingers. He fixes the stab, seals that up. So you can't. That suit was on point. He must have went and studied at the school of Shuri.
Wow.
By the way, I love when Shuri was like,
she made Banner look stupid.
I love when she was making him feel like a dumbass. She's like, "Why didn't you just change the nanoparticle neuropaths?" And he's just looking at her like, because we didn't think of that. And it's like,
what he should have said was, we didn't build this suit. Technically, Ultron did.
Should have been like, well, where the hell were you?
Fault. She just said that was all Tony's fault.
You should have been like, well, we would have thought of it if you were sitting here in a little dome of yours away from the rest of the world. Screw you, teenager. Screw you.
And then I still love that one scene where the Okoye talk about, man, why don't you just bring a Starbucks?
Well, the best is now there's a consistent theme is she gets side eye to everything in this.
She does, man. Because when Scarlet Witch came out, she's like, "Why were you in there?
Why was she up there? Why wasn't she down here?"
Well, the best is when Bruce is in the Hulkbuster and trips and busts his ass. She just kind of looks down like
side eye, man.
Side eye.
It's funny because I had the side eye wallpaper on my desktop.
No, where was the homie from Get Out?
Remember, she said some of the border tribes, those are remain.
Yeah.
AKA her boyfriend's in prison.
Yeah, like he was supporting a rebellion. He got to be in jail for a little bit.
Oh, they locked a few of those. They locked a lot of those guys up.
Yeah,
because I mean,
and that's why they call him Baku, man, because Baku was ready to tear it up. Sorry, what?
Baku was over this. Boy, he was handling his.
Yeah. Baku's always ready for a fight. She said it. He's like, Baku is ready. Call him up because he's be ready for a good fight.
I'm sorry, but this wasn't your normal Chitauri invasion. These alien dogs were a little more fierce.
Yeah.
They're bred for that specifically.
Yeah.
Because Steve was having a hard time with them.
You should know, Captain America ain't that strong.
Black Panther had a hard time with them too. At one point they got him and they were throwing him like a rag doll.
Oh yeah, they can throw him like a rag doll, but he's protected by the suit. He's got power level up to Captain America with his magic juice, and then he's got kinetic energy.
Black
plus
Panther.
The Black Panther. R. Smith says same thing. I was saying Black Widow has no suit, no powers, except for some fighting skills.
How is she still alive? How did she survive all this? How, Sway? How? How, Sway? How, Feige? How?
Yeah. I mean, like, and the Falcon tried to be all cool there, man. The Falcon died too, right?
No.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Because my friend was like,
he's one of the people that disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared. Why didn't Rhodey disappear?
No, because
you got to keep one black person.
He just came back.
Yeah, he just came back, right? I mean, look, how many black people are going to kill in Wakanda already, man? Come on.
But they kept Okoye. She was around. There's your black person.
You're so useless.
I'm not. Rhodey's useless. Let's be real.
No, Rhodey brought air support, man. Rhodey came down and was.
Falcon was bringing air support too.
No, Falcon was shooting machine guns. Okay, that ain't no air support. Rhodey dropped bombs.
Where the hell was Valkyrie with her damn air support? That's a better question.
Yeah, I mean, look, at least Rhodey dropped bombs. Look, what's his machine guns? Rhodey took at least maybe 100 or so of those things. We're dropping some bombs down.
Not up against that army because that army was fierce.
I mean, there was just a lot of them. There was just a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, it needed Thor. I like how they did a good job of properly nerfing Thor in that film, like to allow Thanos to get as far as he did. Because the fully powered Thor, he's not getting that far. He just simply isn't going to get that far without getting his ass kicked. And at least
that was funny with Rocket. Thought about, you mean you're gonna fight him a second time because he just kicked your ass. Yeah.
That's I was like, but he hasn't faced me a second time or something like that. Some silly answer. But that was cool. It was nice to see Peter Dinklage. I found it. I actually yelled his Game of Thrones name. Nah, I just forgot it.
Tyrion.
Tyrion. I was like, Tyrion. People look at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, whatever. He's here and he's huge.
And no hands.
No hands. Yeah. It was cool. And I like that arc with Thor though, even though he was nerfed. But especially when he was talking to Rocket, and Rocket was playing like Guardians like a counselor. It's like, okay, they've killed all your people. Are you okay, man? Are you cool? That kind of thing.
I'm sorry, but at the end of Guardians 2, Groot was playing that damn game. That shit has some serious battery life.
Oh, come on. It's the same battery that Star-Lord uses for his iPod and his Zune.
iPod don't have battery. Or neither does a Zune.
No, the same battery. I mean, built-in battery. Remember,
this is only a few days. It could have some battery life.
Star-Lord had a Walkman that had superb battery life, and he somehow found AA batteries in the other side of the galaxy, by the way. And then he was given a Zune, and yes, the Zune can last like a week, but how's he going to charge it? That thing didn't have inductive charging or anything.
I'm sure that they found some type of
jerry-rig way.
Yeah, the way to charge it. I mean, the man had cassette tapes for like 40 years, and we all know a cassette can only play so many times before that thing becomes unraveled.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have found some solution to fix it.
I mean, he could have just like made it digital.
Oh man, he didn't make it to Earth. He could have found the modern technology with CDs.
No, I mean, he was just streaming
mini
Spotify.
You got a mini disc.
Spotify all the way from the other side of the galaxy.
Okay, but see, they're not going to go that far. They would have gave him some CDs.
And AT&T
now Spotify is going to get a spot in the next movie.
And AT&T charged roaming charges for that one.
Don't worry, Shield will cover the cost.
It's so stupid that Tony Stark, Spider-Man, etc. can walk on Thanos' planet without oxygen machines. I mean, they just made it every planet is breathable. Any planet that there was life has oxygen. Done. That's pretty much what they did.
That is true. They didn't really.
I mean, Tony and Iron Man probably could have survived with their suits, and Doctor Strange would just cast a spell. But yeah, I think they just made it that way.
Well, yeah, like the galaxy. I mean, the Guardians. They're going to planets all the time and breathing. So we just have to take it for a fact that
any planet that has life, there's oxygen.
Well, the whole idea is human life just isn't on Earth and didn't start on Earth. So there's some type of that everywhere, somewhere, and so there's got to be somewhere for those people that are human or take forms of human to be able to breathe. So it makes it's just easier to have it all, and instead of going, well, this has someplace and this doesn't. The best thing they can do to make planets different is typically its atmosphere or its gravitational pull, and that's a lot easier to deal with in writing and on screen too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the premiere of the Iron Spider suit was awesome.
Oh, the way he used the suit too, was on point. That was cool. That was good to see.
You're like, what's this?
Is he going to use the Iron Spider in his next movie?
He has the suit. So when he's in his next movie, I mean, either Tony's
going to take it back from him.
Does Tony take it back from him?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. He was wearing two suits during that fight. I mean, he must have been sweaty, man. Like,
come on, bro.
Sorry.
The new suit had that new car smell.
Yeah,
that is true. I forgot about that. And he probably has, thermal regulation in there and all that.
We got to remember his first suit that suit that he had was already all teched out at the begin with. Anyway,
the first one, yeah, that's true.
It had a death mode, and then he hacked his own suit. That was the best part. He hacked his own suit.
I mean, remember, he lost the mask to the other suit because he was on the ship and he dropped it.
Yeah,
and that shit's floating in the atmosphere somewhere.
Yeah,
that's true.
By the way, I think my favorite underrated moment of this entire movie is when he tells his friend, "Hey, I need a distraction." And his friend is like, "Whoa, I'm gonna get
Dude, did not waste it. Remember, he's the tech guy, right?
Yeah.
He's his tech guy. He's like, every team has a tech guy. I'm that guy on the phone with you. The way he switched, that was really smooth. That's
the way he switched up.
Boy, that's almost like my boy knows exactly what I need right now. There's no like, huh? What? He just immediately turned around and was like, oh shit, this is alien invasion done.
We're all gonna die. Exactly. It was so smooth. And it's almost like he didn't ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Definitely good. All right, good guys. I think we should probably round up. We've been chatting almost as long as the movie at this point now.
No, we still got another hour and a half to go.
So is the next one Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Well, I mean, unless you guys want to do Solo, which comes out first.
I haven't seen any of new Star Wars. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Honestly, I don't
eventually watch them, but I'm not like.
I just put it out there.
I don't think I'm gonna watch Solo. Like
I'm gonna watch
the
Solo.
trailer. I'm like, that's a TV movie for me. Like when it comes out on TV, I'll go see it.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch Solo.
Well, I might just go see it because I want to see where my cousin is in the film. So if he made a scene in there, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm checking out for Childish Gambino as Lando. That's what I'm watching the movie for.
It already
May 18th. And if you're on T-Mobile, May 15th, you get your $4 tickets.
Oh, T-Mobile
Tuesday. For Deadpool, that comes out that Friday.
Deadpool. I did like the previous scene when he's like, I just showed up for the ad. And they just have him jumping out of a plane. Afterwards, I have no powers. I just showed up. You're hired.
I hope they don't cut the scene where he's like making fun of DC. And they just use that joke.
It's so dark. It's so dark. You're from DC? I was like, oh God, that's so awesome. Oh, that's so awesome.
And I think they all will be there.
I hope so, because he even called them Thanos at one point.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think it's all going to be in there because I think it just makes more sense for that.
It makes sense for him to say that, and also it's still at least they're having some fun with it because he was Green Lantern.
Remember he mentioned Green Lantern. He didn't mention it by name.
No, he had the card.
He had the card, yes. And then he also mentioned, it's just I'm not going to be wearing a CGI green suit. He also
mentioned it's not green and glowing.
Glowing, yeah.
And it's sad that Krypton as a television show, if you haven't watched this past week's episode, too bad. They did a better version of Doomsday.
Yeah, they did. They showed Doomsday. Did he not?
Yeah, they showed him. And he looked like the comic book version versus that Hawkpox bullshit we got from Zack Snyder.
Wait, how is Doomsday in the Krypton like that? What? How?
Doomsday was made in Krypton in the comic books.
But how did he existed before Superman?
Oh yes, Doomsday was made.
Yeah, he's in a cryo state right now on the planet Krypton.
Yeah. Original of Doomsday was he was created by Kryptonian scientists, and each time they made him, they killed him, so he came back stronger each time. Krypton takes place like 200 years before Superman. So
sad. They got some twisted logic.
You know what's so sad? I'm thinking about this. It was like, you see how well Marvel's doing with these team up movies, and especially this, and somehow DC just cannot get off the foot with this.
Oh no, they want to turn Superman into Nick Fury. What is they thinking?
It's a rumor. I was waiting for Lou to get there.
How, Sway? How? Superman is Superman. He's not a fucking guy wearing an eye patch that's going to bring a whole group of people together. You have Batman for that. Or Wonder Woman, for Christ's sake. Not Superman.
You want to know why that is? This is what happens when you fail to establish all of your characters in the beginning of a movie before you team them up. And this is where we are now. This is where we are now.
To get to that, I was saving that one. I was like, should I mention this? And then Lou brings on like.
I haven't seen the movie fully yet, but
you're not missing anything.
I already know the gist of what was already going on with it. With what's going to happen, I'm like,
don't waste your time.
But I wasn't surprised. It's just like my problem with what they do with the DC universe, and it's just, I know he's not going to agree with me with this. They make that world so dark. I don't give a fuck if they save it. So why like it just it? I have no care about it, so I was like, well, just let the bad guys win because it's already a screwed world anyways. It's not like where they made Gotham very dark in the Dark Knight series, and
Which
But
Gotham are you talking about? That
now,
stupid ass TV show?
No. It's
Sam,
not about the
Sam, are
movies.
you there?
The way they made it dark,
I'm
but they
here,
made
but
reason for
my
it.
cameras give me issues.
Okay.
All right, yeah, get that up. So Sam, we're rounding up, but you can start up by giving us your impressions and thoughts on the movie. We spent like an hour, 15 minutes talking about it already. I know you just woke up and you tried to get your makeup on.
The movie was great. I think for what it was, for everything that it had to fit in, the movie was amazing. It did a good job fitting everything in. I think this movie would be more better described as Thanos' movie rather than Avengers. This was basically Thanos Infinity War because they did a great job highlighting how. Go ahead.
How to do a bad guy movie.
Exactly. No, seriously. And you feel a little empathetic because at the end of the day, although Thanos had he's obviously the bad guy, but you could also sympathize with his motivations. It's like
Andrew sympathizes with his motivations as well.
I agree. Look, dude. Screw it. Wipe them all out.
Yeah, and Lou too, because Andrew said, "Hear me out. Let's just think about what he's trying to do. There is some logic to it." And Warren and I were like, we're not part of this shit.
All I'm saying is, at some point, Earth is going to face a similar decision. I'm not saying that one way or another. I'm just saying that you can see it happening. That's all I'm saying.
So where do you stand on that, Sam?
There's a book from Neil Stephenson called Seven Eves. I tend to go that route. So let's build a moon base, and let's build a spaceship that can take humanity somewhere else. If we ever get to that.
That's what I said. Give me some money. I'll build a spaceship.
Elon Musk is on that. Give him some time.
I'll select my crew, and then we leave the galaxy. It's cool.
Just give Elon Musk time. He's building the rocket. He's starting off. He's got to make an Iron Man suit, and then we're good. He'll get to that. It's on. You didn't check the roadmap, bro. You didn't check the roadmap.
All right. So,
hold on, Andrew,
you're muted. Andrew, you're still
muted.
I
was gonna say, we're not letting you select your squad because knowing you, it'd be you in a spaceship full of beautiful women, and you would just try to repopulate the whole planet on your own.
That is not true. That is not true at all. I care about people. I care about people that like me.
Okay, let's be real. You build a ship, your closest friends will be on it. You'll say screw the rest and nothing but women, alcohol, and some food.
No. I'm there to be the ambassador of the human race.
Sure.
Yeah.
This isn't Wakanda forever, bro.
See, already right now, Sam's the only one who's on this shit because he's not actually arguing with me whatsoever. Anyway, Sam, what parts of the movie did you enjoy the most, action sequence wise? Which action sequences caught your attention?
Action sequence wise, I think the best part of the movie for me, action wise, was when we basically have that army in Wakanda going up against the what do they call those constructs from
the Outriders.
Yeah, the whatever riders.
Outriders.
The Outriders, yeah. So that was probably the best scene when Scarlet Witch shows up and takes two of these, I don't even know what to call them, the shredding circular wheels, and basically just slams it into the army. It's like, oh, that looks pretty cool. That was like massive destruction. The one time she's on the field, she probably killed more of those Outriders than everyone else combined.
Yeah, I don't know why she was out there.
That's kind of obvious when she's able to pick up an object and slam them on. I mean, you have War Machine dropping bombs.
I don't know. I think Thor kind of handled a lot.
Thor
Thor destroyed ships. Damn it! They're trying to retreat and Thor destroyed their ship.
I mean, Thor was feeling all funky with his new hammer, man. He was like, I've got.
It's a new toy. Now. You got to take it out for a spin.
He was happy as hell.
At least he doesn't have to spin this one to fly.
Yeah, there's no handle with the spinny thingy.
Hey, Groot did make a nice handle.
True. Yeah. Sam, how do you think Captain Marvel will fit in the next movie, or how do you think? Yeah, because I can't remember the exact question I asked the other guys.
Captain Marvel's character is a little interesting. I don't know what they're going to try to start doing now with time travel. Time travel is something that when people introduce it into movies, into sci-fi series, it kind of tends to screw up continuity. So let's see how they handle time travel after how many movies has it been now? Almost like 20 movies?
19
movies. Yeah, after 19 movies, let's see how time travel does not screw up continuity.
Well, I mean, it's not time travel. They're just going to the past in 1990 when her movie takes place, and then supposedly she'll come back to present day in Avengers 4. So, my question is, okay, this is my question for everybody. Who do you think will wear the gauntlet in episode 4? Andrew, you.
Captain Marvel.
Okay. Lou?
Tony.
Sam?
I'm almost hoping Vision.
Vision dead.
No,
but we both know he's coming back.
He's coming back, and I think
he's coming back white.
He gets to wear it because no one knows who Adam Warlock is. The only other option for me, if Adam Warlock is not going to be wearing the gauntlet, is probably what's it called? Doctor Strange and Vision being probably the two people who already have shown that they can handle what's it called?
An Infinity Stone.
Infinity Stones. So yeah, those are the only two, and I don't think it's going to be Doctor Strange. I think it's most likely going to be Vision. Seeing as he was like weak sauce in this movie, they need to
weak sauce. So who was weak sauce?
Vision. I mean, Vision got handled by homie's blade.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Warren, who do you think?
I'm thinking probably. I think it's going to be Tony in the end, and they want it to be Captain America. They only have so many choices, but I think somehow it's Tony Stark in the end, fixing the world because his ego can handle it.
I will say my choice would be Captain America and then kill him, and that's a sacrifice for the movie.
Stop trying to kill people.
Look, people need to die. Sorry.
How does Thanos know about Tony?
When he said I can't remember.
He said, "You're not the only one cursed with knowledge."
Yeah, I know he says that line, but does he have a freaking?
No, because he said the first. Remember, he's behind the first battle. And he was the one remember, Tony was the one that beat him in the first battle, in the first Avengers battle. Man, he went up and took the rocket up there and shoved it up their ass, and they blew up.
Yeah, but it's not like they exchanged names, conversation.
But Thanos can find these stones in all over the galaxy. I'm sure he has the internet that he can just look up Tony Stark. Like Tony's not like a hidden person. So,
but that's easy. But you got to remember, Loki would tell him who he is, because Loki knows.
But Loki in the first Avengers movie didn't know who he was.
But Loki was working with Thanos.
No, in the first movie, he didn't know who Iron Man was until he met him on Earth. And he never went back to go give a status report after that. Remember, he was captured and he was taken back to Asgard.
There's points in one of those movies he probably gave it to him. Or you can read minds. You got to remember he with Nebula, he just like clicked a button and then she had
but
Nebula video voice now.
She's half machine. Or
he probably has a way.
Machine, pretty much.
He probably has a way.
I mean, hey, unless he came to our planet one time and was hanging out with his dad. Oh, I have a son named Tony, by the way. Oh, here you go. Here's some super serum juice to make someone strong.
You mean like Star-Lord's dad who came to Earth?
Oh, screw that stupid idiot ego. That was a weird-ass way they did that. That was just dumb.
Yeah, that was not the best. I
agree. Sam, any disappointing aspects in the movie?
Apart from what I already stated with Vision, no, there really wasn't that many. There wasn't really any disappointing moments. I wish. I kind of wish
died.
I kind of wish Black Panther did more, but we can understand why he didn't do more. But it was like there was so many people so many things going on. I wanted to see more of Peter Parker's suit. I wanted to see like more of the nanosuit from Iron Man. I want to see.
Well, you got a lot there though from Iron Man suit.
But I want to see like the interaction between Siri and Peter Parker, if there was any. There was so many things I wanted to see, but hey, you can't really have those moments when so many other bigger characters are in the show.
Peter Parker and Siri will get their interaction in Homecoming 2 when she comes to New York to install the dome.
Yeah,
because New York is getting fucked up way too many times.
Yeah, no,
you're not getting a dome, man.
The dome ain't coming to New York, man.
It needs to. You New Yorkers need help.
Listen, I would settle for the MTA getting the trains to run on time. The dome is like the bottom of my concern.
It's like, oh, we have aliens invading, at least the MTA is running on time.
I mean, seriously, you got Jessica Jones screwing shit up. Luke Cage is next. That's another thing. Why can't S.H.I.E.L.D. just make their way over to the Netflix show for a brief cameo? You could send Coulson, damn it. Coulson don't mind going places.
That's not gonna happen, dude. That's not gonna happen.
But they want continuity. Because we know for a fact Luke Cage ain't gonna touch on none of the shit that happened in, what was it? Where's Doctor Strange at? In Brooklyn, Queens? Where's he technically at?
He's in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
He's in like lower Manhattan.
Okay, so that was isolated to Manhattan this time around. They ain't gonna touch on that in Luke Cage, even though it's how many blocks away?
Well, it depends on what time Luke Cage happens.
Look, I don't know what happens in Harlem, where Andre in Harlem, right?
Yeah, I'm in Harlem.
I don't know what happens there. Even if something happened right now, I just look out my window and be like, okay, cool. So Manhattan's big. New York is a big place, you know.
I get it.
People are instantly teleporting around, man. This is
seriously.
They're not flying around everywhere.
You're gonna tell me you didn't, being in Harlem, you didn't see a big hovering donut?
Hey, I'm not going to the donut.
What?
I'm not going towards the donut.
We'll see how they assess that. But are you guys, anybody going to watch the movie again the second time?
Oh yeah, I already did.
Yeah, I'm going to go again Saturday.
2.5 hours. I'll wait. I'll wait until it comes out on Blu-ray.
I'm gonna see it again this week at some point. I just don't know when.
Yeah, some point this week I'm gonna walk my little happy ass to my local theater and enjoy.
Yeah. All right, cool. Any final thoughts on the movie? Anything what you guys want to see in the next movie before we round the show up? I'll start off with you, Sam, since you know you're the last person here.
No, I'm hoping to see how they do that little twist in part 2. We're seeing Thanos end up like, oh, I've done what I need to do. I can take a rest now. It's almost like the end of the comic book version of it, right? So I want to see how that twist happens. Is it like, oh, we're going to rewind time so that never happened? Or is Thanos going to be like sitting on his porch doing like, I've saved the whole universe by killing half the people, and then bam, the Avengers show up and like, nah, dude, we want half our people back. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off.
And who do you think will die? I just have to go back to.
I'm still going back to Captain America or Iron Man. I think Iron Man is probably the most likely one because everything that Robert Downey Jr. has been doing recently kind of leads to a handing off / send off for it. So,
but he doesn't have a successor.
Well, Peter Parker is his most likely successor, but I think Siri would probably be the. Suri would probably be the most likely or the most obvious one. Yeah, to be the techie because she has no responsibility like high school or whatever, you know. So she's going to be an ambassador, so she can basically do more and be freer than Peter Parker would be being a high school student.
People want Iron Man suits, though, man.
So she's going to be the Riri of this universe.
Better than Riri.
Well, obviously, but you know.
Yeah.
She went to Wakanda MIT.
Warren, how about you? What are you expecting from the next movie, and who do you think is going to die?
You're just all excited about somebody dying. Good Lord.
I know consequences have to be paid, man.
Good Lord. Yeah, and DC's paying for it now with all their movies.
Hey, the consequences still have to be paid.
Obviously I want to see Hulk smash somebody out. and then hopefully that's Thanos. Just like drum him like he drummed Loki. I would just like to see.
He did it to Thor too.
But yeah, but I would like to see Loki's face seeing it happen. Because like when Loki did it, when it happened to Thor, and Loki's face as he sees that happening,
he got it was like, yeah,
so amazing. When he saw Hulk, like, I have to get off this planet.
He was having flashes, man. He was having
flashes. And
hell no, George Clooney would not be a great Iron Man. Oh, he sucked as a Batman. What makes you think he could pull off Iron Man?
He would be the Iron Man suit with nipples.
Yeah, good God. But yeah, I want to see. I'd like to see some more Spider-Man stuff with his suits, some more Tony Stark suits, some more stuff with Doctor Strange and some of the powers he has and stuff like that, and then seeing some of these other characters kind of come into play. I know it's a long shot. I'd like to see some of these Netflix characters show up, make an appearance, punch somebody in the face for 5 seconds, and then just run on by. Would just be kind of nice to acknowledge it a little bit. Don't have to go too deep into it. And I'm still holding to my whole story that it's Captain America that dies. He has successors, and he makes the most sense. He'd be the best symbol for that.
I could see Tony dying after he uses the gauntlet and brings everyone back. That was his sacrifice.
No, but that story is more with Captain America, because Captain America, that's between Captain America and Vision. That's more between Captain America and Vision from the movie. They talked more about not leaving someone behind and making sacrifices.
Yeah, but see, who does Tony love more than Tony?
No one.
Pepper.
So I don't even think he loves Pepper more than himself.
He loves no one more than Tony, man. Tony.
No.
So
I think he loves Pepper more.
To use that gauntlet, you have to be willing to give up someone's soul. So Tony will use the gauntlet with the exception of saying, I give up my soul, and brings everyone back, and then Doctor Strange pulls the gem out and uses the time stone to revert everything, but Tony stays dead. Because Captain ain't giving up nobody. Captain America's another one.
Of that logic playing out. It plays out like a comic book. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Who does Captain America love? His love of his life is dead. She died in Civil War.
You mean Bucky? He's
still around. No, but like, there's no Captain America would refuse to sacrifice anyone. There's no one on he would not allow anybody to die even if it's to save the world. He's going to try to find another way. So I think Lou's makes sense that Tony would be willing, out of sheer guilt, to say I'll sacrifice myself.
Especially the Spider-Man guilt.
Yeah,
that's the
and I'm sorry. Vision ain't sacrificing Wanda, and Wanda ain't sacrificing Vision.
But she just killed him, though.
Yeah, and Thanos brought his ass back to watch him die again.
She didn't even do it right.
She didn't even do it. She did it right. Thanos was like, sorry, rewind.
Realistically, I think it would have been easier if it would have been truer to the comics if she had basically screwed up killing him, just decided not to kill him, because that shows the underlying kind of imbalance that she has. That's always been Wanda Maximoff. Her concept of reality is not the same as everyone else's. So basically, her attachment to Vision and then her not being able to kill him to save the rest of the world, that would be typical Wanda Maximoff. But nah, I guess they couldn't play to that because people in the movie wouldn't have understood that. But
no, they won't. And also, again, with the amount of death that's going to happen right after that, the audience couldn't take too much. It was a lot already, I think. I mean, I'm with Warren on. I think it's going to be Captain America who dies. To me, it's the logical sense of he's the character.
Come on, man! If they wanted to kill Cap, they would have killed Cap in Civil War.
Yeah,
that was the movie to kill him.
It's not they wanted. They were never going to kill anyone in Civil War.
No,
as you saw it correctly.
We both know that Rhodey should have died after that fall.
Exactly. Yeah. But they were not going to kill anyone in Civil War. And I think Cap is the person. I mean, I get the Tony idea. It makes sense also Tony idea, but I think Cap is the one that's going to go. He's one of those two anyway. You
got to remember they don't have to have gotten the stones. The stones might already all be together in the gauntlet still. They just got to wear it.
Well, the gauntlet is damaged.
They could fix a gauntlet, make a new one, pop new stones, and call it a day.
Well, you know what? If they want a new gauntlet, they have to go back to the guy who
Tyrion. Tyrion got no hands, man. Look how hard it was for him to make Thor's.
But he's got the mold, and then some other people.
Yeah. How's he gonna fire up the furnace again? Who's gonna
help him out now?
Thor.
A brand new hammer.
Thor. We already have the solution, man. It was in the movie. It's already there.
Look, Mike Tech brings up an interesting point. His question is, why the hell did it take Nick Fury so long to get wind of what was going on? He always knows what's going on.
That was the one thing that I thought was not true to the character, because Nick Fury knows what's happening before it happens. And then, like, Kobe Smulders is updating him saying, yeah, we've got 2 bogeys over Wakanda. By then, the battle had been going on for like an hour. So how the hell is he just finding out about this?
And why ain't they in the helicarrier?
I think we'll figure that out in Captain Marvel's movie. I think that'll get explained towards the end of it. As things switch around, he might see what's going on or whatever. They'll figure that out.
Dr. Doofenstein Schmidt 1899 says Captain America is the best character out there. They should kill Pepper.
Oh, Jesus. So Tony becomes a villain.
John Smith says Cap and Tony will die.
But see, that's the thing. What if Pepper already disappeared?
We'll find out.
And when Tony finally makes it back to Earth and realizes Pepper was part of the half that got taken away, homie's going to sacrifice himself to bring back Pepper, because he loves Pepper, but not as much as he loves himself.
Yeah, but I still think it follows Captain America's character better, and he would be the most sensible one to die, because after this, there's nothing. After the next phase, there's nothing else for him to do. I'm
not connected to Captain America. If Captain America dies, it's going to be another homie dead.
Oh, man.
His death won't mean shit to me.
Tony's will.
It all revolves around Tony. Tony put us in this scenario.
It doesn't all revolves around Cap. All this crap wasn't going on until Super Serum existed. And everybody
Super Serum?
Everybody exists or has their powers, or some result of that has affected it because of the Super Serum. We're trying to recreate it again. He's a huge key of that.
Okay, so yeah, the Hulk, yes. The Hulk, yes. Not Iron Man, not
Iron Man still related to it because his dad was a part of the project.
Yeah, but
Tony made his suit out of pure necessity of saving his own life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we've seen that Tony was jealous of Captain America in Civil War because of the way his father always talked about Captain America. So Tony has a little resentment just in that aspect.
They weren't making all these weapons until Captain America existed. They literally none of this was going on. Then somebody shoots him with some juju juice that seems to be better.
Spider-Man did a great job of explaining how all these weapons came about. Most of these weapons came about. That was because of the first invasion, right? Once the first invasion happened, then like the cleanup crew, people started selling off some of these weapons. I think that's a great job.
I remember they were supposed to make a TV show about the cleanup crew too.
Yeah,
probably would explain a lot of where all this stuff goes.
They probably stopped that because of that DC one got canceled.
So Ultra Gold Coin says Captain Marvel has the ability called cosmic awareness, which means she knows what's going on in the universe. Doesn't make sense why she wasn't there.
She could
remember, guys,
someplace else.
The Russo brothers made a collective decision to not put her in this movie. She was in the script for this movie, but they decided to hold her off for the second part of this movie and her movie. So don't just
and remember, if she's the key to beating Thanos, there's no reason for her to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Thanos
has got to win.
Like this movie had to end with Thanos winning. If they're gonna make a 2-part movie, the only logical step is to end this movie with Thanos winning, and then you say, "How are we going to recover and beat him the next time?"
Well, people were all complaining about that because he wanted a happy ending. I'm like, damn, did we forget that the Dark Knight did not end happy? Did we forget
Thanos
that?
got his happy ending.
It was a happy ending.
This is Thanos' movie. There was a happy ending.
It's Thanos' movie.
He snapped, disappeared after he took that nice chest cut. So he better have a nice scar in the next movie. If not, I'm gonna be upset with editing.
Oh, jeez.
and he's chilling, watching a sunrise on a beautiful garden planet. Where we'll see he's gonna hang up whatever his clothes are, and he's gonna be with his pitchfork raking some shit and barreling some hay.
Man, like I'm looking at the chat, and people are like, "Oh, so where's Captain Marvel the whole time?" Oh God, okay, we can go to a whole bunch of where the hell the characters are at this time. Where the hell is Blue Marvel?
No, the Marvel characters we have, but where the hell is Valkyrie? That's another one.
That's true.
Valkyrie's in space. She's floating, waiting on somebody to pick her up.
But then where's Rock Dude? Is she floating on Rock Dude?
Probably.
Korg, yeah. Like, where is he? He would have been funny as hell in this movie, man.
Yeah, he would have been.
Him and Rocket together would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been him and Rocket together would have been awesome.
Well, all right, guys. I think that's pretty much it. We've discussed and chewed through this movie long. I know it's been a long.
We go about another 30 minutes, and we'll be as long as the movie.
No, we're good.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was holding. This is about the point of the movie when I had to go. So we can wrap this up.
You missed the appearance of Red Skull. You're wondering what's he doing in the movie.
Well, don't worry, guys. We'll be back in about 2.5 hours for Westworld.
Yes, join us for Westworld discussion, episode 2, 10:15 p.m. tonight. We'll be doing that. So if you haven't watched Westworld, you should join it. It's a great show. I want to thank everyone for joining us here. I want to thank Andrew. Andrew, where can they find you on Twitters?
You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Cam, and that's KAM.
All right. And of course, Warren, where can people find you?
Find me at bw1.com, BWDOTCOM.
All right. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And Lou, what's the handle?
Boored Buddha.
That's it. And of
on
course,
Instagram as well.
Sam is Black Iron _man, aka he's actually Black Iron Man.
I like how you were gonna go. Oh, yeah,
Black
he's actually
Iron _man.
Sam knows where it went. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. It's Booredatwork here. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe, and always enjoy your entertainment. And see you at 10:15.